Hey, what's happening everyone? I am Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, and today I'm here to provide you with my review for Heroes of Might and Magic 7. That is right, we are finally on the 7th installment, and in this story, it's actually taking place during the War of Succession, where you have this impressed murderer who's apparently left the realm in flames, where you have a bunch of different rivals are ready to seize the throne by force. Thankfully enough, a guy named Duke ended up calling together a council of 6 trusted advisors to restore order and to end the conflict that set ablaze the Ashen's land. Now, going over the graphics, visually the game isn't too bad looking, because in the game you actually have a lot of different locations in which you get to visit, a lot of details within the structures, and just different set pieces altogether. But overall that looked pretty good. However, I do feel like the visual aspect of the game is starting to wear thin due to the fact that now we are at the 7th installment here in 2015. I feel like we could see a much more visual improvement along the way, but overall the way it isn't too bad. But again, hopefully in the next installment we could see a lot more improvements as we get further and further, as long as the game is going to continue this type of franchise. Now, going over the gameplay, overall the gameplay isn't too complicated to understand, but do keep in mind that if you're a new player who hasn't played any of the previous installments, the game is a turn-based strategy game, so learning of when to move your characters, who to strike, what to put into your army is one of the key things that you need to have access to in order to achieve victory during combat. However, when you're not being involved with combat, you're actually going to be going on various amount of quests, but with my overall experience, the game tends to suffer from a lot of different bugs to the point where I had to restart the entire mission in order for it to get working, and just different things along the way. Even some of the combat mechanics seem to be a bit buggy, so there is some known issues that the game is currently having, but hopefully after a patch or so maybe these could get fixed. But anyways, when you are not in combat, you're going to be doing several different quests where you may have to gather resources. However, some of the resources may be guarded by a stronger opponent, in which you need to build up your army in order to defeat that opponent and to gain the proper materials in order to progress in the main storyline. And of course, when you do start the game, you actually get to choose from 6 different campaign modes. However, do keep in mind that 2 of the characters are currently locked until you beat the campaign modes on some of the previous characters. So overall, you have a total of 6 different campaigns, a lot of different quests, a lot of different missions, and of course a lot of different locations in which you're going to be visiting along with your experience. Now, as far as the sound aspect goes, overall the game still has that really nice soundtrack that I enjoy listening to, even if I'm just sitting in the game's main menu. And of course, the voice work for the different characters were also really good to listen to. However, the only downside that I felt is that during the cinematics, if you will, it tends to be more of a freeze frame of a certain situation while you hear the characters talk, rather than having something that's a bit more animated being played out for you. I felt like that we could have had a little bit more in that aspect, but overall the soundtrack and the voice acting is really good. I just wish they could have done a little bit more in regards to the cinematic portions of the game than just giving us clear images with voiceovers. Now, going over the lifespan for the title, right now it's a bit of a mixed bag. On paper it seems like there's a lot to do. I mean, 6 different playable campaigns, an editor mode, and an online multiplayer. Heck, there's so much to do. However, right now the game feels unfinished. There's a lot of different issues that's along the way. The user interface tends not to be good, the story's not that interesting, and just a lot of different aspects that's going to hinder the replayability of this game by a lot. And right now it's a bit of an unplayable state at the very moment, until a lot of the patches and bugs tend to get fixed in due time. But overall, again, there may seem like there's a lot to do, but with a lot of the issues that the game's currently having, it's just not really worth it in terms of the replayability at this current time. As for the innovation, was there anything new here? Was this something that we already seen before? You would assume for the 7th installment we will be taking 3 steps forward. However, for the 7th installment, I feel like we just took 5 steps backwards, which is definitely not good for the franchise. And if we want to see this to grow more, then they definitely need to step up their game. But in the end, I'm going to be giving Heroes of Might and Magic 7 a 6 out of 10. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. But until then, I am Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, where we empower your gaming.